right, guys. Good afternoon. Listen, I told you all Chase Bank was not playing about the ATM glitch. They finally did it. All right. So here, check this out.
This morning, a lesson from JP Morgan Chase. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
This is why I think it's really important that you don't believe everything you see on the internet. There's no such thing as free money.
In
Absolutely.
late August, some Chase customers were able to withdraw money from ATMs by writing fraudulent checks to themselves, then immediately withdrawing cash before the checks bounced. Typically, only a fraction of a check's value is immediately available until the check clears, but a glitch at Chase allowed customers to withdraw much larger amounts in that time. Taking advantage of the glitch, which quickly went viral on social media, was essentially check fraud. And now the bank is taking legal action, suing 4 customers for a total of $662,000.
Hope
In
they
one
got it.
case, a Houston man, over a 2-day period, was able to withdraw most of a $335,000 check, which later bounced. The bank says he still owes more than $290,000.
Chase was pretty on top of it. Within a day, it was all fixed, and people that were doing this were seeing big holds on their accounts or huge negative balances. Bank errors in your favor are almost never in your favor.
In court documents, the bank saying fraud is a crime that impacts everyone and undermines trust in the banking system. Chase takes its responsibility to combat fraud seriously. In addition to returning the funds, Chase is demanding the defendants cover the bank's legal fees and other expenses related to the glitch. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Listen, guys, I told you that this was going to happen. All right. Again, people they thought it was going to be a game, but it most definitely is not a game. All right. So here, let's get right into it, guys. But the ATM glitch that has Chase Bank taken their own customers to court. All right. So, by the way, guys, if you're looking to improve your credit score, we can help you. Scan that QR code to learn more. All right. So now, for those of you all who are just joining us right now, this is what you need to know. Now, there was a glitch that just happened, and of course, it allowed customers to withdraw much larger amounts than they should have been able to. All right. As a matter of fact, let's go back to this because I want to actually show you guys something here. So give me a second. Let me share with you guys one thing here. Now, CNN just talked about this as well. So here, let me go ahead and show you guys what they was just talking about because they gave the full breakdown. Okay. So, and we'll go back to that in a second for those of you all who are just joining us as well. All right. So now people who took out money from Chase Bank, again, a legal scheme, guys. We all know it was check fraud. All right. So it blew up on TikTok over the summer. Right. But here's the deal. And for those who don't know how it worked, people were depositing bad checks and they were able to withdraw funds. Okay. So they wrote the checks to themselves and they would deposit it and they were able to withdraw a portion of the check. Okay. Before the check would bounce. Now, normally the bank follows the standard, making a portion of any check available to the customer before the funds clear. And for those of you who have business accounts, this is very common. They deposit the check and the bank will allow you to get a portion out, if not all of it, if the money is in your account. Well, these people didn't have the money to cover it and they had access to some of the funds. Okay, check this out. One guy he was in Houston. Okay, now he covered his face at the ATM, but he obviously has an account at the bank. Anyway, I don't know what these people are thinking. They deposited a $335,000 check. All right. And Chase says that he was able to get out $291,000. Now, let me tell you something. Chase Bank has to take some type of responsibility. Now, don't get me wrong. What the person did was bank fraud. They should get they should get in trouble for that for sure. But the bank has to take some type of, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. But the bank should take some type of responsibility for allowing someone to deposit a $335,000 check. And they allowed them to take out $291,000. This is one person. That makes no sense. All right. And listen, the cases are just starting. OK, right now it's 4 cases. They reached out to the defendants demanding that they pay the amount of any overdraft along with any fees that apply. OK, and also they're asking to pay their legal fees. OK, so it is getting insane. Now they filed lawsuits in Florida and California so far. OK, so far, that's what's been going on. And listen, Chase Bank says they will get their money. So let me know. Let me know what you guys think about that. inside the comment section below. Do you guys think that Chase should have some type of responsibility? I think they should, because it's not. I'm not saying it's not fair, but as an institution, first off, they shouldn't have been able to get the access to the money. Let's go ahead and start there. All right, but that's just my 2 cents on it as well. Now, for those of you all who are just joining us, we just talked about what CNN was able to cover as well too. But here's the deal. Now, the glitch allowed the customers to withdraw much larger amounts than they should have been able to. We talked about that. The glitch quickly went viral on social media. So we all know about it, right? It was so many videos on this. These guys, now I don't know if these guys were actually a part of the fraud, but they were just at a Chase bank and it went viral. Okay. But either way, many people took advantage of it. And that just goes to show you that it's basic finance, like basic financial knowing that you're not supposed to be able to do this, but people did it. Now, mind you, in order for you to have a checking account, you have to be at least 18 years old. So these are people that are young adults mostly young adults that did this, let's be honest. But either way, they are most definitely taking, and it says right here, they are taking legal action against just 4 people so far. Okay, but it's going to be a lot more people as they're breaking this down. But the bank is suing this particular group of people for $662,000. All right. And as I mentioned, they want them to pay their legal fees and other expenses related to the glitch. Insane. All right. Insane. Of course, we just talked about what CNN was talking about on that. By the way, guys, if you haven't done so already, be sure to go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Let's go ahead and talk about it, guys. Let's jump into the comment section here. Let me know what your thoughts are about this. Listen, we said this was going to happen. This is nothing new. We said that this was going to happen, okay? Andrew says, what happened? I missed it. So long story short, Andrew, do you remember the Chase Bank glitch that happened over the summer? People were going to Chase Bank, depositing checks, writing it to themselves, and they were able to withdraw a portion of the check. Business accounts are normally able to do this bank-wide, nationwide. But these were people who had personal accounts that I'm aware of, and they were able to do this. Either way, people got the money. And somebody was able to get over $200,000 out of this situation. But now they're being sued by Chase Bank, and they are coming after everybody, as they should. As they should. Now, most of these people, for those who don't know, why are we just hearing about this when it's happened in the summertime? Well, most of the people what do people normally do when they have a bank account and it's negative? They just walk away from the account and you never hear from them again. And that's what ended up happening, guys. They left their account negative $8,000, $10,000, hundreds of thousands of dollars of negative bank accounts, and they just walked away from it. Now, usually what normally happens in a situation like that, they send it to check systems, as we know. They send it to check systems. And when they send it to check systems, that's when a person, I'm dropping everything. That's when essentially they say, hey, we're going to put this person in check systems to make it difficult for them to get another account at another bank. That's usually where it stops at when you close an account that has a negative balance. But Chase says, listen, we're going to take them to court. All right. And they're starting from largest to smallest. I see what they're doing. They're not going after people that did $10,000, $5,000, $1,000 yet. But they're going after people that took out hundreds of thousands of dollars. Listen, they said, if I'm going to do this fraud, I'm going to do this fraud. And here's the thing. You lucky they're not pressing some other type of charges. So, I mean, and then obviously, these people are going to just simply file bankruptcy more than likely, or who knows how this is going to play out. But let me know what you guys think about this as well. Jason says, yeah, he says they're going to get in their butt for sure, only by increasing the maintenance fees on customers. Absolutely. Absolutely. And listen, Chase Bank, let me know in the comments, guys. Does Chase Bank have some responsibility? Do they have some responsibility? Now, don't get me wrong. Like for all the business owners in the room, and you don't have to necessarily be a business owner, but I think you could do this too in a personal account, obviously. If you have, let's say, for example, you have $2,000 in your bank account. Someone gives you a check for $500. You clearly have the amount to cover the $500. So it's not uncommon that you get access to those funds. Let's be honest. It's not uncommon that you get access to those funds immediately because you have enough to cover. So this isn't something new. But again, when people don't have the money to cover, That's the situation. So Chase Bank should have some type of responsibility, because it's almost like leaving the keys in your car in the ignition, right? And you're like, well, I guess we won't have to worry about somebody, taking off with the car, right? You have to have some type of responsibility on this, because first off, and people call it a glitch. It shouldn't have been a glitch in the first place. Now, don't get me wrong, tech things happen, but come on now. We got to know better than this. And again, people most definitely should get in trouble, but Chase shouldn't be able to just get everything that they're asking for here. In my opinion, it's like, hey, you got to take some responsibility for this too. Okay. Now, they fixed it right away, but it's almost like, come on now. Okay. Now, Lynette says, good afternoon. East Harlem is in the house. All right. Andrew says, oh, wow. Yes, this went crazy. This was over the summertime too. And you got there are some videos still out there, mainly on YouTube. It started on TikTok. TikTok took down a lot of the stuff because they felt like it was bank fraud. They didn't want to be in the mix. They already in trouble. They got their own drama. All right. Will says, how many times would you have to take out money to take out 291,000? Listen, you ain't lying. Listen, let's go back to the CNN story here. All right. I'm gonna pull this up so you guys can actually see this. And that's a very good question. And Will says, how many times do you need to go? Listen, what I'm thinking is they probably walked into the bank. So I'm thinking, because here's the thing. You can deposit the check at the ATM. But what I'm thinking is, it doesn't make any sense to me how this person was able to get, listen, they have to change some things about their process, because it doesn't make sense to me how a person was able to get $291,000, guys. It doesn't make any sense at all. All right. And you guys can see that right here. Hold up. I'm gonna make myself a little bit smaller. And you guys can see that right there where it says 291,000 that this person was able to get. And again, doesn't make sense to me at all. Now, of course, we knew people did the fraud, but come on now, 291,000. Do y'all think he's gonna pay it back? Let me know in the comments. Do you all think the person that took 291,000 is the person gonna pay it back? Is the person gonna pay it back? Probably not. I'm gonna have to go out on a limb and say probably not. He's not gonna pay it. All right. Andrew says for sure it's an error and their insurance should cover that. Ooh, let's talk about that. Right. So there is some type of bank insurance that's obviously going to cover something that's like this, unless Chase Bank is going through the same stuff that we be going through sometimes. When someone takes money out of our account and it's a scam, right? It's bank fraud or something like that. They don't help us. I'm not saying it's legit. I'm just saying that they have some type of responsibility for sure. And I'm sure insurance is going to play a role. Now, Lynette says Chase Bank shut down an ATM. I was trying to take out a large amount and it did not let me continue until I verified it was me. And they only let her get $1,000. Now, let me tell y'all something. That's a nice amount of money to get out of the ATM. I thought the max was like 500, maybe 750, maybe a business account, something like that. Right. But like Will said, how many times do you got to take money out to get 291,000? Listen, if there's not a flag, man, come on. We know what this is. All right. Andrew says, yeah, they had to hit the teller window. That's the only thing that makes sense. 291,000. First off, can you even take that much? Listen, I used to work at a bank for a very short period of time. And if you take out, if it's more than 10,000, yeah, anytime you take out more than 10, they have to report that. They have to report it some type of way. Or is it when you deposit 10,000? But either way, they have to keep up with something like this. Now, unless it's a cashier's check, like who allowed this to happen? It don't make sense at all, man. It don't make sense at all. But listen, I told y'all, Chase Bank was most definitely not messing around. All right. But either way, I want to make sure you guys got that information. As you all can see, listen, it is most definitely happening out here for sure. It's all over the news as well, too. So listen, we're going to keep you guys posted. This is just the first of many lawsuits to come for sure. OK, so we'll keep you guys posted on this. But listen, we thought it was just something that people were just doing and they got their account shut down. Not something like this where they getting sued and it's $291,000, guys. But either way, we'll keep you all posted. We got way more videos on the way, and we'll see you guys on the next video. So make sure you guys go ahead and like, share, and subscribe as well too, if you guys haven't done so already. Now, Karen says, listen, there's no way you could take out $291,000, an ATM or at the window, right? What about a cashier's check? Is that possible, Karen? Is that possible, Karen, for a cashier's check, right? Andrew says, not until they spend some more of that $291,000. I would have to spend at least $100,000, maybe at least $150,000, and let them have the rest back. I'm sure they spent that money quick too, man. I'm sure they spent that money real quick. All right. But either way, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you guys go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep the comments going, guys. Let's keep the comments going. We're going to be talking about this. Listen,